Okay. So let's start with React actually. So a little bit of introduction where we can use React. So React means it's like a JavaScript library. So that means like whatever the code we're writing, it should be in the JavaScript mostly.
Right.
So it's a single page application. So single page application means like so everything is rendered within a single page. So that means like you cannot have two styles with same name. You cannot have two styles with same name. Right?
Okay.
Because ultimately we are going to render only one HTML, one CSS, one JavaScript. Okay, right? So like example, single page applications like Angular JS. So that is also single page application, right? So it's a data driven framework. Data driven means like assume in the screen we are displaying value 10 something or like where username equal to Arjun. So assume we are displaying Arjun like this in the screen. If I change this username from Arjun to some other thing, automatically screen refreshes. So assume in the code, if I change this variable like username equal to Venkat, so whenever the data is changed, screen refreshes automatically. So that's why we say like data driven framework, like data driven library. Okay, Alex, any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
So React is like a JavaScript library and a single page application, data driven library. So data driven means like when the data changes over the time, screen refreshes automatically.
Okay.
When data changes over the time, screen updates automatically. So here we don't need to manually say that update the screen or something like in other frameworks. Okay. So mostly React is for creating user interfaces. Okay. So now if you're using React Web, React DOM, so web user interface. If you're using React Native, mobile user interface. Right? See, React is like an independent library. Above React, like there are some other modules like React DOM, React Native, all these things. So if you're using
Right.
React DOM, it is like a creating a web user interface. React Native means for the mobile user interface.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So similarly, we have one more thing, Microsoft React. So where it will be like web, mobile, desktop, user interface. Let's repeat it again.
So web and
Yeah.
desktop are same, sir? Or you mean tablet?
Web is website, where desktop means it's a desktop application,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
right?
Okay.
So simply, like if anyone asks like whether React is a library or a framework, you can say that React is a library.
Let me.
Okay. So what is difference between library and framework is that framework is like a bundle. You will get so many dependencies like you need to depend on so many things. Whereas React is like an independent small library. Okay. So framework versus library. Okay. So library is a small independent piece. Framework depends on other libraries. Right. So
Yeah.
framework means like it's like it has some other dependencies. It's like a big bundle. If you see Angular JS, like it comes with animations, testing framework, everything is like a big bundle. Whereas the React, it's just like a plain small library, so it is completely independent, right? So React, how it works means is that like process JavaScript files and generates DOM dynamically. So like it is not that like projects a complete project will be converted into web or mobile. So assume if it is a React Native, few people get confusion like what are the code we are writing that was completely converted into mobile. Similarly, like what are the code we are writing in the React DOM, like that is completely converted to the web. It is not like that. Only the view part is going to convert. Okay. So one minute. Only view part is going to convert or generates DOM or mobile components. In case of mobile, what are the code you are writing? So only the view part will be converted into mobile components. So the Java logical part will be as it is.
Okay.
So logical part will not be converted. So like earlier, like people were thinking like what are the code we're writing in React Native? That complete project will be converted into Android or iOS project. So it is not like that. Like in a JavaScript file, we write some code related to logic, right? If you see JavaScript file means like so JavaScript component or a file, both are same.
Okay.
So each JavaScript file will be having two things. One is logical part plus view part. Okay? So this logical part will not be converted into DOM or the mobile components. Only the view part will be converted. So still processing happens in the logical part. Okay.
Can you give one example, sir?
So I will give an example. Net. If you see this one, what are the code that is there in the render method will be converted like this is not an HTML. This is JSX which we will discuss later. So what are the code you are writing in the render method will be converting. It will generate the DOM elements. The logical part like screen navigation will be as it is. Like the code
Okay.
we are writing for the validations, navigations will not convert into web components,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
See, assume that there is an addition of two numbers. So if you want to display any A number or B number, it will be in the render method that will be converted. Whereas in the logical part where you do some addition of two numbers, that will be as it is in the JavaScript. The processing will be there in the JavaScript still.
Okay.
You got the point, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I will remove this example for now. Like, any questions so far? So far we have seen like React is a JavaScript library, single page application. So here like a single page application means like complete rendering is happening in a single page.
Okay.
Okay, data driven framework, like when the data changes over the time, screen refreshes automatically. So it is usually for creating user interfaces. Okay, so here we have a couple of things like React DOM for the web user interface. If you're using React DOM library, it will generate web user interfaces. If you're using React Native, it will generate mobile user interface. So Microsoft React for all the things like you can use for web, mobile, or desktop. So now framework versus library means like library it's a small independent piece and can work separately. Framework means like it depends upon other libraries. So React is a independent separate module. So that's why we say like React is a JavaScript library.
Okay.
So how it works means like process the JavaScript files and generate the DOM dynamically. So here in depth, like only the view part is going to convert or generate DOM or mobile elements. So logical part will not be converted, right?
Yeah.
So in each JavaScript component, we write both logical and the view part. So the logical part will be as it is for processing. View part will be converted for the rendering purpose.
So when we say the view part is getting converted means we are
Yeah,
it
this
gets
JSX
converted.
element, this will be converting. This will generate the DOM elements dynamically,
Okay.
right?
Sir, again, single page application means
So you'll be having
ultimately it is like
only
one
one
HTML.
HTML. Within that
Okay.
HTML, like you will place one empty div. So whatever the
Okay.
screen you're viewing, all the elements are changing, like injected in that div only.
In that div. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll go in
So
depth later. Yeah.
that is done by the library, sir.
Yes, yes, it
That's
will
how
take
the
care.
page.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so we when we see view source, we can see one HTML and then parent there is a form inside
yeah,
that there is maybe body tag, and inside body tag we'll see div and everything is inside the div.
yes, yes.
Okay.
These things will show. We'll do it. So, like in the real time, we'll do definitely.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, fine. So now, if you want to really see like how React works, is that first you need to understand some features like browser. So browser understands only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML for the rendering purpose, CSS for the applying styles,
Mm.
JavaScript for the logical part. So what happens is that whether you write the code in .NET or Java or Spring or Hibernate, like ultimately it should convert into these three things.
Yeah.
Okay, only these three things. Similarly, in our React code also, like React is a JavaScript library. Whatever the code we're writing, it will be completely in JavaScript. So JavaScript file will be converting to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Okay.
So in React also, what is the code we're writing in JavaScript that will generate this component dynamically. So ultimately, it is generating the DOM elements, right?
Yeah.
So internal process. Let's see the internal process. So let's assume we have three restaurants. Okay. So assume when the screen is loaded for the first time, it is having three restaurants. Okay.
Okay.
So now they assume that there is one refresh icon. Okay. When I click on this refresh icon, so it is like making a backend request to get the fresh of records, right?
Right.
Assume in the backend, so backend got updated with one more restaurant and sending complete four restaurants. When you make a request to the backend, it is sending the four restaurants, right?
Okay.
So now in React, what happens is that along with the DOM, along with the virtual, like in this case, like the DOMs are there are two things. Like we have virtual DOM and virtual DOM.
Right.
So now I will write it very quickly. See in the beginning, when the screen is loaded for the first time, both virtual DOM and virtual DOM are same,
Same. Right.
right? So assume like restaurant one, restaurant two, restaurant three are created like this,
Okay.
right? So virtual DOM is like a replica of the virtual DOM or clone of a virtual DOM.
Right.
Clone or replica of virtual DOM. So now when I click on this refresh icon, okay, see when I click on this refresh icon, this virtual DOM will be recreated completely,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So now earlier in the beginning, virtual DOM was having three restaurants and virtual DOM was having three restaurants, okay, three elements. That is like okay.
Okay.
So whatever the screen you are viewing, that is virtual DOM, like virtual DOM. Virtual DOM you
Okay.
cannot view it; it is in the inside the memory, like inside the process, okay. So whenever you click on this refresh icon, so as the data is changed and you got the four restaurants from the server, this it's
Okay.
virtual DOM is recreated with four restaurants, right?
Yeah.
After virtual DOM is recreated, like after it is recreated, it will compare with the virtual DOM. It compares node by node, like this row, no change.
Right.
This row, no change. Here, no change. It finds something new in the virtual DOM. That's why it will be injected to the virtual DOM.
Right.
If it finds new node in the virtual DOM, no, virtual DOM, it will be injected to the virtual DOM.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
So I will give a few more use cases. Assume in the from the backend you are getting only 1, 3, and 4. Assume in the backend there is no second restaurant. It was deleted.
Okay.
So in that case, when it compares, like it finds that this DOM is missing, that this node is missing.
Right.
So that will be deleted.
Yeah.
If it finds any node is updated, that will be updated in the virtual DOM. So I will write it here.
Yeah.
If node is missing in virtual DOM, deletes node in virtual DOM, right?
Right.
If it finds new node in virtual DOM, injects new node in virtual DOM. right?
Yeah.
If it finds any updated node in virtual DOM, it will synchronize or it will update that node in virtual DOM. Okay. So this is the principle. How React works is like internally the process will be like when the screen is loaded for the first time, both virtual DOM which we are viewing and the virtual DOM are same.
Right.
Whenever you make some manipulations or operations like so when the like this data gets changed, so whenever the data is changed, this virtual DOM will be recreated. After recreated, it will compare with the virtual DOM, right? So
Right.
each row one like each node like this we call it like a node. Each node will be compared step by step. Actually, this for H1 one compared like this. If it finds any new node in the virtual DOM, that will be injected. If it
Right.
finds any missing node in the virtual DOM, that will be deleted. Like if it finds any node is updated, like H3 is updated to 3.2. Okay. Any questions? Right. So
Yeah.
here, if you see this one, so I will write it here in terms of data structure, where restaurants equal to. So this was like beginning like earlier structure. So now in this case, I don't need to manually refresh the screen. Like I just need to update this variable to this structure. I need to change the value. That's it. If I change the value, screen refreshes automatically. I don't need to manually write any code like for the refreshing of the screen. Right?
Right.
So in this case, assume restaurant 2 is deleted. So in this case, assume like restaurant 3 is changed to 3. Right? Any questions?
Sir, ఇప్పుడు the DOM, the actual DOM is also generally if I say DOM is in-memory representation of the HTML elements, right?
Yes, yes.
Generally.
Yeah, then that is clearly visual representation. You can directly see it.
Okay.
So
Uh,
assume I am opening this site. So if you open any site,
whatever we see in the view source is the DOM, right,
this is
sir?
the version. So you can take on this experiment.
Hmm.
These elements. This is the virtual DOM. You can see this is the virtual DOM. Virtual DOM you cannot see.
Right. So already there is some memory allocated for this, right, sir?
Yes, a separate memory is allocated for virtual DOM also. So two memories like that.
Okay.
So one memory you can view it, another memory you cannot view it.
We can- And that is taken care by the React library. The
Yes, yes, it
React
will take it.
library will
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
maintain that.
Yes, yes. So samples wise like WhatsApp web. Okay.
Okay.
So WhatsApp web like Dropbox. There are so many sites which depend upon this one. Yahoo Mail. Okay. So very simple. Like whenever the data changes over the time, virtual DOM will be recreated and then compared with the virtual DOM.
Okay.
So once it is done, like screen refreshes automatically. So rather than dealing with the virtual DOM, virtual nodes, it deals with the virtual DOM. Once it is done, like when the virtual DOM is created, What original DOM will be updated.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. So this is an example of the restaurants. See, assume that there is an application like I'll write it here. So refresh in restaurants, right? Earlier, like we were having three restaurants. Now new restaurant will be injected. Whereas in the other frameworks, these four restaurants will be reloaded.
Reload.
So Uber app, like in case of Uber application, you need to change only the car location, not the
Right.
complete street. So chat application. In case of chat application, you don't need to reload complete screen. You don't need to reload the chat component. You just need to inject the new chat message, right?
Right.
So assume there are 10 messages in your chat screen. So that newly created, like that newly received message will be injected to the chat screen
Yes. Right.
rather than recreating the rather than refreshing the complete screen or the chat component, right?
Yes. Yes.
Any questions?
No, sir.
So it's clear, right, how we React works like, and so usually like we see the advantage of learning React is that whatever the code or the concepts you are learning in the React that can be applied to the React Native or Microsoft React like that.
Okay.
So there are so many frameworks that are dependent on React. So you can apply all these things to that one.
Okay.
Okay, 1 minute.